Hey guys, welcome to Customer Service Confessions. This is going to be our first video here, and so we're going to be talking about what they don't tell you when you're starting customer service call center jobs. So the first thing that I did not know was after my 4 weeks of training, they had the training classes, they had 2 weeks of on-the-job training. What they don't tell you is that after those first 2 weeks of on-the-job training, you're on your own. Supervisors no longer have time to answer your questions. No one cares if someone is on your line demanding a supervisor and you're expected to know everything or just to figure it out on your own. You will literally just be expected that for some reason, even though in the training class they never cover what you really encounter on the job, and in the first 2 weeks, what the difference is between someone holding your hand and helping you through everything and answering every question suddenly comes to a stop. No one explains any of that. They pretty much just assume that for some reason you know everything at that point and that now you no longer need any kind of assistance. They also expect that you can just, have picked up by listening to more experienced agents or listen to your fellow class members that have graduated with you. Now, you've figured it out. You've listened to everything. You know everything now. You've seen everything that this has to offer. Just, that's it. Essentially, most of the time the company will have, whatever company you work for usually has some kind of internal system that you can search. It's pretty much like the company's version of Google. And usually this has articles written by other people who've worked there that say, you know what, you're trying to do this, this, and this. You have to follow these steps, or this is whatever this is, and you can go from there. More than likely, you can figure out from there what it is. It just takes a lot of time, so you're going to have to learn how to stall. And that's pretty much what brings me to the next thing, that what they usually don't tell you is everyone has words or phrases that they overuse to stall for time, or because they're really anxious or they have a lot of anxiety is basically what that means. For me, one of the ones I notice that I use over much is bear with me just one moment here while I go ahead and look into that, or bear with me one moment here while I take a look at this, or stuff like that, just something like that. I usually end up saying bear with me, or just a few more moments here. I overuse that about 40 million times in a day. Okay, that's an exaggeration. I usually take no more than 40 calls, so... But that's also because I'm doing everything I can to not just get overwhelmed by the people that I'm talking to, because that's something else that they don't talk about. They don't talk about the fact that working in customer service means you're a verbal punching bag for a living. You are there to take the brunt of the customer's anxieties, their frustrations, their hatred, their racism, their life problems, all of that. You're there to take it all. You're pretty much an underpaid therapist. And you have to make them like you. Because otherwise, when your surveys come in, the bosses will look at it and go, dude, you suck at your job because all these people hate you. Or they'll listen to your calls and be like, you could have de-escalated that. And by de-escalate, they mean they want you to kiss ass. Majorly. They pretty much want you to do what my friend Miranda calls a full Becky. And we also have variations of that. There's also a half Becky, a 3/4 Becky, a 1/4 Becky. And that pretty much is the difference between being hi, my name is Fury, to, hey there, my name is Fury. There's a totally different way of doing that. The first one is definitely a full Becky. Becky is your happy-go-lucky, perfect straight-A's girl next door who never does anything wrong, and everybody loves her, and she's super friendly and loves everyone. Becky does not exist. But most customers want Becky. Some people, however, will get extremely irritated if you pull a full Becky on every single call, because some customers, their callers, they don't like Becky. To be honest, I don't like Becky. I want to kill Becky. But again, Becky doesn't exist, so. Pretty much you gotta vary out the way you do that. You gotta figure out in the first 2 minutes what kind of caller you have. What kind of personality do they have? Is it just because they had a bad day, or is this call really just gonna suck? After a couple months, you figure out the difference between this person just has a shitty attitude and this person's just having a bad day. They're not all going to deserve the benefit of the doubt, but you have to try to give them that. I'm a cynic, so I have a really hard time doing this. But pretty much, they want you to be upbeat. They want you to be positive. So you will need to work on varying degrees of Becky. You can't just sit there and go, hey, thanks for calling. What do you want? That's like someone shot Becky in the face. A first degree Becky or a 1/4 Becky is, hey there, thanks for calling. How can I help you today? 2/4 Becky is a little more energetic and is just like, hey there, thanks so much for calling today. How can I help you? 3/4 Becky is where it starts to get nauseating, and that means you really, really have a problem. Because it's either they're really shitty, or you are just in a bad mood. The worse your mood is, the better you need to sound. So that's how my supervisors can tell if I'm having a bad day. I sound closer to Becky. Also, sometimes I just overdo it because I get really bored and I just need to entertain myself. And it's hilarious to try not to lose it when overacting. So 3/4 Becky is, how do I do this? Thank you so much for calling. I'm so glad you're here. How can I help you today? Can I go ahead and get that account number from you? Full Becky gets borderline creepy. So once again, full Becky is, thank you so much for calling. I'm so happy to help you out today. Can I please have your account number? Let me do everything I can for you. Oh my god, that's super awesome. Thank you so much. Give me 1 second here while I go ahead and get that pulled up. Full Becky also takes a lot of energy. So you gotta be careful not to overuse full Becky. But one of the other fun challenges that I like to do is the worse a customer's attitude is, the closer to full Becky I get. I think it's really funny when someone is so pissed off and screaming at you to be like, oh, I'm really super sorry to hear that from you, but you know what? We're going to do this. Da, 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 da. If someone is calling you everything but a human being, it is really hard to do that, and it's a fun challenge. But please, dear goddess, be careful, because that can also make things a lot worse. So, the next thing that they don't tell you is everyone lies. I've had families that I don't have, like kids and stuff. I've had spouses I don't have. I've been a 62-year-old woman. I'm 21. I've been in states that I'm not in. I've apparently lived in places that I've never been to. I have had different accents, different fake nationalities, pretty much anything under the sun. And I've heard everyone around me doing similar things. The only thing that most people don't do is accents, because those are really hard to do sometimes. But, it's also, everyone also lies about situations they've been in. Somebody could be like, oh my god, my router caught fire. Dude, that happened with me and my roommates in college this one time. Yeah, we didn't even know what was going on and the whole thing just freaking blew up. What? So crazy. I didn't know that ever happened to anybody else. Oh my god, dude, you know what? We're gonna get this figured out for you. We're gonna fix this up. I haven't been to college. I've never had a router blow up, and I've never had roommates. But you know what? I just made myself relatable. I just made you want to give me a great survey. I just made you assured that I have done, that I've been there and done this, so I can fix this. I have just assured you that I know exactly where you're coming from, and I'm going to be here for the end of it. I'm going to see it through. Another thing that they don't tell you is how much it makes you look good to employers. And also reassures a customer if you repeat what they just said back to them. Sometimes people are going to think you're an idiot, and they're going to tell you so, but sometimes it's worth it. So if someone says, hey, my bill is really, really high, and the service sucks, so I don't even understand why I'm paying this much for this. Okay? So I'm understanding here, just to be clear, I'm understanding here today that we're calling in because we want to understand the charges on your bill. We want to understand the rate of pricing and how it got to be where it is. And we also want to try and see if we can look into some better servicing options for you. Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second here while I go ahead and get your account pulled up. Another thing is that they look for empathy statements. This is something I struggle with because I really don't care. Oh my god, no, I really don't care. But I have to make my customers believe that I care. So a lot of times it's okay, you know what? I understand how frustrating that can be. Everybody's got a lot of bills going on or whatever. And I'll totally get your frustrations on that one. You're going to get some people who will immediately bite your head off for that one. Being like, no, you don't understand. You have blah, 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 and da-da-da-da-da, and does your mom die every weekend and whatever? I don't know. But you're gonna get people who immediately jump your shit just because of that. It sucks. But most of the time, people would prefer if you made an empathy statement, and I guarantee you, your bosses want empathy statements. That's the biggest thing that I've been told to focus on. And apparently the answer to why don't you make enough empathy statements is not supposed to be because I don't care. No. They don't want, and that's another thing is that they don't tell you, is that the bosses don't want you to be honest. They want you to lie. They want you to be as close to Becky as you can get. I don't get it. But, hey. The last thing that they don't really tell you is that you're going to get a lot of stupid questions. You're going to get a lot of stupid answers. I have had people ask me things like, and I kid you not, I had a man from West Virginia say this to me. I thought it was just a joke that I saw in I think it was Bad Lip Reading or something. No. I legitimately had a customer ask me if I have Facebook, do I also have the internet? What do you think the .com means? Do you not understand how the... Okay. And I'm having to sit there and find the nicest way to be yeah, you kind of need the internet to... You kind of need the internet to make Facebook work. Oh, crap. You'll also get a lot of people who will ask you things like, hey, where's the nearest store? My dude, You can Google it. All you gotta do, is ask Google, Siri, Cortana, Alexa. They'll all answer this for you. Or, I don't know, it's a weird thing, but like, you can go outside. There's a whole world out there. It's like, it's right out there. There's like, there's this thing, it's called a door. And it kind of serves as like a portal entryway and an exit from where you are to the rest of the outside world. You can go out there and you can see things with your eyes. I know it's a little scary, but it's real and it's there. You can do it. I believe in you. You're also going to have people who ask you things like, why am I paying for internet if I'm only using Wi-Fi? Because they're like the same friggin' thing. You kind of need internet or Wi-Fi doesn't exist. I've had people say that they wanted to just pay for internet and not Wi-Fi, or just pay for Wi-Fi and not pay for internet, and don't understand how that works. A lot of times you'll also get people who are like, my internet's not working and I know I paid my bill, and you pull up the account and you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, you paid it. Cool. What kind of internet do you have? If you're not able, sometimes you just need to hurry up and get them over to tech support so that they can do their jobs and you can move on to the next one, because typically speaking, there's about like 30 to 40 other calls in queue and you gotta hurry up and move on to the next one. So you can be like, you know what, your internet's not working? Okay. What kind of internet do you have? Why would I know that? Because you're paying for it? I mean, I don't know about everyone in the world, but when I sign up for a service, I like to know exactly what I'm paying for. I like to understand my bill. I like to understand, okay, it says blah, 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 blah. Now, most of the time, common sense will be able to help you out, or context clues will be able to help you out with what the bill says. But on the off chance that you don't know what those words mean, you can either Google it, or you can call in long before you start to have problems. I don't get this at all. But also, you're going to have times where you ask a question that seems fairly basic to you and get a really stupid answer. I have asked people to verify their account with like their date of birth, and I've had people insert, I don't know, you don't know your date of birth? Nah, I forgot. You forgot your birthday? Or I've had some callers go, it's either April 5th of 1992, or it's like October 2nd of like 1985. Not even close. Alright, I don't know them. How do you not know your own things? Like, I get if maybe the information's been entered miscorrectly or something, but how do you just straight from the start not know your own information like that? Or I've asked people for that question, and I've gotten, is it, blah, blah, blah? Is it this? Shit, I don't know. Those are usually the ones that are high as a kite, but, I've also had one particular woman who was very memorable saying, I was like, all right, and may I go ahead and ask who I have the pleasure of speaking with? And she goes, excuse me? I was like, yeah, can we start with your name, please? I forgot. You forgot your name? Yeah, I forgot my name. Do you have a problem with that? No, not at all. No. 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 The supervisor just kind of thought that was a weird reaction, and she goes, "What just happened?" And I'm like, she forgot her name, and do I have a problem with that? Yeah, I don't even know what to do with that one. But you'll get a lot of people who are like that. It's sad but true. But that's pretty much where we're gonna end things today. Let me know in the comments. Do you have a problem with it if your customer forgets their name? Have you ever forgotten your own name and gotten aggressive about it? Let me know. And if you guys maybe have some interesting customer service stories, you can go ahead and leave those down there. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. If you didn't, I guess don't like and subscribe. I don't know. But thanks for the view. Okay, guys, so thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.